Good morning children. Today's our topic is about how land is distributed between the farmers in Palampur. How land is distributed between farmers in Palampur. Okay children, you already studied 75% of people in Palampur are engaged in agricultural activity. Okay, most of the peoples are farmers in Palampur. But unfortunately, the most of the people in Palampur, they are not owning their own land for cultivation. Okay, so you already know how many families are living in Palampur? 450 families. Okay, 450. In this 450 families, 1/3 of the families are not owning their own land. Means 150 families of Dalit, they don't have their own land for cultivation. 150 families of Dalit, they don't have their own land for cultivation. Clear children? Only 60 families, 60 families in Palampur having land more than 2 hectares of land. Okay, 60 families in Palampur having more than 2 hectares of land. More than 2 hectares. 2 hectares. Okay, then 240 families, among these 240 families, they are having land that is less than 2 hectares. Okay, less than 2 hectares. 2 hectares. Okay, then the population, no children, only very less amount of large farmers, only very few amount of large farmers have more than 10 hectares of land. Okay, more than 10 hectares of land. So this is the land distribution of Palampur. Okay, 450 families, 150 families of Dalit are not owning their own land. Okay, only 60 families only having more than 2 hectares of land, and 240 families having land but it is less than 2 hectares. Only few large farmers only have their more than 10 hectares of land in Palampur. This is the land distribution of Palampur children. Okay, now I think you got an idea about land distribution. Okay, let us explain it with one example. Okay, one example, Gobind. Okay, Gobind is a farmer in Palampur village. Okay, he has 2.25 hectares of land. 2.25 hectares of land. And along with his 3 sons, he is cultivating in his own field. Okay, but he is cultivating himself. Still, he is not satisfying his basic needs. Means children, income that is getting from this land is not. He can't satisfy his expenses. Okay, so he has one buffalo in his home, and that buffalo, with the support of that buffalo, he is earning little bit income. That is why only he is satisfying, or his basic expenses are satisfied in his family. Clear children? Okay, then after the death of this Gobind, that land is equally divided between his 3 sons. Okay, now you look children, the total land area again divided into 3. Okay, both of his 3 sons, both sons are doing agricultural activity. Okay, and they are using modern method also, modern method of farming. Still these people are not getting much earning from that small piece of land. Okay, they are using modern method still, and they have to do some other work for maintaining their basic expenses. Okay, this is the case of a farmer in Palampur village. Okay, through one example, ma'am discussed it. Clear? Now we will look children, what about the land distribution in Palampur. Okay, the land you can see in this picture. Okay, the land, this is the land distribution of Palampur, cultivated land area in Palampur. Okay, you can see the land is scattered. okay, but it is divided into small pieces. Clear, children? Okay, now we can discuss in the case of Gobind what happened that land, you know. It divided into 3 pieces. In the same way, the land is divided into many pieces. Okay, so this type of small pieces of land not getting adequate income for the farmers. Okay, so that is about the land distribution of Palampur village. Okay, let us discuss it with let us discuss it with one graph. Okay, pie chart. I will draw a pie chart, then you can understand it very easily. Okay. This is cultivated area, okay, cultivated area. Okay, this is number of farmers. This is number of farmers. Okay, now we will divide how the cultivated area is distributed among small farmers and big farmers. Okay. Okay, that shaded area, children, you can look, this shaded area is rich farmers. Okay, shaded area, rich farmers. Okay, this is the case of rich farmers, and a plain area, that is small farmers. Okay, in this picture what you can understand, children? Look this picture, then you can understand that how land is distributed in Palampur. Okay, you can look, this shaded area is large and medium farmers. Large and medium farmers, shaded area, and plain area, small farmers. Okay, so you can look, 80% of small farmers are cultivating in 36% of land area. So what about their cultivated area? Only 36%. 80% of small farmers cultivating in a 36% of area. Clear, children? Then you can look, children, next shaded area, that is large and medium farmers. Okay, 20% of farmers, big and large or medium farmers, they are cultivating in 64% of land. Means 20% of this big farmers, they are owning 64% of cultivated area. Okay, this is the land distribution of Palampur. I think, children, you got an idea about this. Okay, can we go to our next topic? Now we will look who will provide labor. Okay, who will provide labor in Palampur? Who will provide labor in Palampur? Okay, let us discuss. Okay, first we will discuss about, labor is another important factor of production. Okay, without labor anything is not possible. Okay, so who will provide labor in Palampur? In the case of small farmers, they will work in their own land. Okay, means their family members will give service, or family members will be the labor in the case of small farmers. Okay, clear? In the case of large and medium farmers, they will hire farm laborers. Okay, farm laborers. Okay, these farm laborers, they don't have any right in that land. Which land they are cultivating, they don't have any right on that land. Okay, they are mainly hired laborers. Okay, they will get wages for their work. They are either from the family of landless labor or maybe with a small plot. Okay, and for their work they will get a wage or meal. That may vary based on the region to region. Okay, so mainly the large and medium farmers, they will hire the farm laborers, and small, in the case of small farmers, their family members itself work in their own field. Clear, children? Okay, then this farm laborers case we discuss, no children, we will discuss it with one example. Okay, this one farm laborer called Dala. Okay, Dala is a farm laborer in Palampur village. Okay, then she is working in a big farmer or a large farmer's field. Okay, you know children, in Palampur, as per the government fixed minimum wage will fix in every places that you know. As per the minimum wages in Palampur, it is 115 rupee. Okay, per day 115 rupee. But this Dala only getting 80 rupee per day for his farm. As a farm labor, she is working throughout the day, she is working, but she is only getting 80 rupee per day. Okay, so anyway, in this wage also she is ready to work. Okay, because unemployment is a big problem in Palampur village. You know, farming is a seasonal activity, particular season only people will get a job. So in this 80 rupees, this Dala is ready for work. Okay, and many like that, many farm laborers are there in Palampur, and they are also getting very less amount. Anyway, they are also ready to work. Okay, Dala and this type of people are the poor people living in that village. Okay, they will tell their problem in between, that only they can do. Okay, so this is the case of labor service in Palampur. So who will provide labor in Palampur, children? I think you got. Okay, can we go to, shall we take our next topic? Okay, then our next topic, how the capital need for farming, you know. So how the farmers, they acquired capital for farming. Okay. Capital need for the farming. Capital need for the farming. Okay, first you know capital, that is another important factors of production. Okay, without capital it is not easy for any activity. Okay, so capital, in the case of capital, you know now farming is modern farming. Okay, modern farming need large requirement of capital. Clear, children? Okay, in the case of small farmers, what about in the case of small farmers and in the case of medium and large farmers? In the case of small farmers, for buying capital, they will borrow money. Okay, they will borrow money from traders. Big farmers or money lenders. Okay, or money lenders. Okay, you know children, because they are only having small plot of land and they are not earning much income, so they have to buy money from this type of people. Okay, and for borrowing this money, no children, they have to give very big rate of interest. Okay, let us discuss it with one example. Okay, one farmer called Savida. Okay, she has a farmland and she has some amount of fertilizers with her and a little bit money also she has. But she want little more money for doing agricultural activity. Okay, so she decided to buy money from a big farmer. Clear, children? And this big farmer, if he will give money, okay, surely he will give money, but this Savida have to give a very big amount of interest rate. Okay, that is the condition for getting the money. Not only this children, Savita have to work. Okay, when this big farmer he have large farming land. Okay, so during the time of harvesting, this Savita want to give work as a farm labor. Okay, 35 rupee per day. For 35 rupee per day, this Savita want to work as a farm labor in the that big farmer's field. Under this condition only the farmer is ready to give money. Okay, this is the case of small farmers children. Okay, you know they have to buy money. Okay, then you know after that when the cultivation over, they use this money for buying many things with a high rate of interest. Okay, after the harvesting sometime any natural disaster or sometime the harvesting is poor, means what will be their condition? Okay, again they have to buy, next harvesting time again they want to take a loan. Clear children? In this way these farmers are living under debt burden. Clear? Okay, so this is the case of small farmers. Okay, but big farmers or medium farmers, they don't have any problem. Okay, they have a lot of savings. Okay, lot of deposit in their account. So they can use that saving for buying raw materials or whatever the capital they needed. Okay, so this is the way how the capital need for farming they are acquired in the case of small farmers and medium and large farmers. Got it children? Shall we go to our next topic? Okay. Now we will look how the sale of surplus product in Palampur. Okay, sale of surplus product in Palampur. Okay, in Palampur village, you know surplus means children excess production. Okay, how the excess product is that they are using that in Palampur. Okay, in the case of small farmers, they don't have any surplus production. You know, small farmers, they are owning any very small piece of land. Okay, in that land only they are cultivating. Okay, so whatever they are producing, that is their own consumption only, means that their own subsistence level only they are cultivating. Okay, that they are using for their own consumption. So they don't have any surplus product. Clear children? But in the case of small and in the case of large and medium farmers, you know they have large land. Okay, and they are cultivating in that land. No, large production will be there. Okay, they will use their own consumption. After that also surplus production will be there. Okay, so this surplus product, what they are doing? They are carrying it in a bullock cart. Okay, they are carrying that load to bullock cart in market. Okay, and they are selling that surplus product in the market. Clear children? Okay, in the market they are selling it to the traders. Through traders it will get it to shopkeepers, and shopkeepers will sell it. Okay, in that way it is going on. So I think children you got an idea about how surplus product is sold in the Palampur village. Okay. I think children you got whatever today we discussed. These are the main topic. Okay, today we discussed. I think all of you got it. Anyway children, if you have any doubt you can call me and you can ask it. Okay, then next class we will discuss about what are the non-farming activities in Palampur village. Clear? Okay, bye.